So today we're going to solve trigonometry problems where we are going to find the missing side. And the key here is that we don't have enough information to use the Pythagorean theorem because we don't have two sides given to us to find the third side. We're given an angle and a side. So what we're going to do is follow the following steps. We're going to label each side of our triangle using the words opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse, and that'll help us figure out whether we're going to use sine, cosine, or tangent. We're going to set up a proportion, which is two ratios set equal to each other. Then we're going to cross multiply and divide, and we're going to round, as in this case says nearest hundredth, tenth, whatever we tell you. When we do this, we're going to be using trigonometry. Now, key point here is you're going to start at the acute angle. In this case, it's the acute angle given. In tomorrow's case, it'll be the acute angle we're looking for. So, we start at the angle marked 30 degrees. We see that the side marked x is opposite. The side marked 15 is hypotenuse. So we set up our function, the sine, because it's opposite hypotenuse, of the angle. So it's always sine, cosine, or tangent followed by the angle measure is equal to x over 15. If it helps you to put this over 1, that's fine. You cross multiply, and you get x is equal to 15 times the sine of 30, which when you do that in your calculator, you'll get 7.5. The next one, we start here. We have opposite and adjacent. That tells us it's tangent. The tangent of 41 is equal to x over 13. We cross multiply. X is equal to 13 times the tangent of 41. So x is 11.3. I'm rounding to the nearest tenth for now. That's okay. Okay. Now we go to the next two. A little bit different. We start at this angle. We have opposite, hypotenuse. Remember, hypotenuse is always called hypotenuse. It's never called adjacent. All right? So now we have the sine of 28 equals 14 over x. Now our variable's in the denominator, so it's going to require an extra step. We still cross multiply, but now we get x times the sine of 28 equals 14. How do we solve for x? Now we have to divide. And we punch this into our calculator just like we were punching in multiplication. 14 divided by the sine of 28, and we get 29.8. And then the next one, starting at this angle, we have opposite, adjacent, the tangent of 12 is equal to 5 over x. So since that variable is in the denominator, we're going to have to do an extra step of cross multiplying and then dividing. And we get x to be 23.5. Okay, continuing on to the next page. Again, we have adjacent, hypotenuse, that tells us cosine. Cosine of 15 is equal to 19 over x. Cross multiply, you get x times the cosine of 15 equals 19. Divide by the cosine of 15, and you get x is 19.7. And then we have hypotenuse. Again, your right angles are drawn for you on your sheet. So we're using cosine of 40 equals x over 5. This one we like because we just cross multiply to get 5 cos 40 is equal to x, or 3.8 is equal to x. Now, in the next two, you're asked to find two sides. Well, all you're doing is ignoring one side when you try to find the other. You're always starting at 25. This is adjacent. This is opposite. This is hypotenuse. You've got to use the 62. You can't have two variables. So let's find x first. Tan of 25 is equal to x over 62. You cross multiply, and you find that x is 28.9. Then you do for y, it's adjacent and hypotenuse, so you're going to use cosine. You don't want to use the side you found for x because we rounded that answer. So the cosine of 25 is equal to 62 over y. This one you got to cross multiply and then divide. Divide by the cos of 25. So you get y is equal to 68.4. And then we're going to do the same thing for the one at the bottom. This is adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse. It doesn't matter which one we find first. So I'm going to do the sine of 30 is equal to 8 over y. Cross multiply. Divide. And you get y is 16. And then finally, we're going to use cosine. Tangent. You actually could use cosine also since 16 works out evenly. But tangent of 30 is opposite over adjacent. Cross multiply. X tan of 30 equals 8. Divide. And x is 13.9. Now, one of the benefits is that when you're asked to find all the sides, you should always end up in a situation where your hypotenuse is the largest of the three numbers. Otherwise, something is incorrect there. Okay? And that's just a good check for you. So today we found the missing side. Tomorrow we find the missing